Hi, as usual, Wednesday evening, and I join you live from Milan, where I live in Italy. And we're here to talk about Blumarine. We've been doing all the designers. If you've followed me already, you know that I have done all the Italian designers, Versace, Armani, a little deep dive into the companies, what they stand for, how they were founded. I love a little bit of history, and it seems from the comments I'm getting and the feedback that you guys are loving the history too of these big fashion houses. So I always record in front of a live audience. If you're new here and you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. It's lovely to have you. You're most welcome. And if you haven't yet, why don't you think about subscribing? Because we join twice a week. And if you can't watch it in the time in which I'm live, you can watch it back immediately, leave your comment, and ask Amanda a question. Somebody joined, and yeah. So it's a live audience. Leave your name in the box on the right there in the text box. And if you want to ask me something or make a comment about what I'm talking about, I'd love to hear from you. That's why we have a live audience. It's great. So, yeah, I mentioned Amanda. My name's Amanda. And Italy Vintage Perfume is my handle here on YouTube and the same on Instagram. I usually post the videos here on YouTube live, and then on Instagram, I post the photos of the perfumes we're speaking about. So you can always see related stuff about our live. And tonight is Blumarine, a very famous Italian company we're going to talk about. And the photos of the perfumes, if you're looking for them, will be on Instagram, but they will also be linked in the description box. If you click on the downward facing little arrow, that faces down on the description box, you will see that I always link up the perfumes. So if you're looking for one of them or you didn't catch the name, don't worry. Watch it back and you can find it. Lovely. Okay, so let's get right to it. It's been a funny all week. So if you came here from Instagram and if you follow regularly, you'll know that I mentioned that there'll be a big announcement tonight. I'll save it for the sort of middle part of this. But let's start by saying it's been a really strange week. Those of you who followed me before know that I live in Italy, obviously, lived through the whole COVID situation for the past 18 months. We've sort of been, you know, in a different world. I mean, originally we were in lockdown because, you know, it was really grave. I mean, there were cars driving around, the local police saying stay inside, don't go out, children, old people, mothers, fathers, all of you, don't come out of your house, stay in your house. If you need something essential, we'll go to the pharmacy for you. If you need shopping, you have a permission once a week, and you literally had to fill in a form to leave your house. It was that bad. There were army trucks filmed carrying coffins out of Bergamo, one of the worst hit hospitals here in the north. So it wasn't by no means a media exaggeration. If anything, it was an under exaggeration, if there's such a word, an understating of the real situation. And here we are a couple of months later, and we've survived. Well, some of us have survived. Some of us sadly have succumbed to this terrible curse that came into our lives, if I could call it a curse. And yeah, and I just feel that it should have taught us so much, and it has taught me. So that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So let's start right into Blumarine, this amazing company, and then we'll come back. Hold the thought about COVID and what it taught you about life, about other people in general. Hold that while I get these gorgeous perfumes that I love so much, and that really started me on my Italian perfume collecting journey. So I'll cast your mind back. Then we'll do the history on Blumarine, this wonderful Italian design company. But this is how this started. I knew Blumarine as a fashion house. I've walked past their store sometimes when it was in Via Dante. Beautiful, beautiful designer stuff. Anna Molinari, the leader, the head, the founder of the company, started another line, Anna Molinari, and their Blumarine is still going strong. They've got a kids line, a home line, like all of these Italian companies. When they take off, they're like a rocket. And so they've been going, I don't know, 30 years, and they're not slowing down. They're fantastic. But this little expedition into Dange rose, which has become one of my favorite roses in the whole world. I especially love it in cold, windy weather, but it's just an extraordinary. The bottle is exquisite, and most people meet it through its bottle, which has this lovely gold embossed roses here and this cap that looks like a dagger, meant to look dangerous. I think it's brilliant as a bottle, and it has this heavy glass bottle that you can see. It's almost like a hand-blown glass. And so this little bottle, I was in Milan, Rinascente, the Rinascente, which you all know about because we've spoken about it before. I've reviewed all the galants there. I spent time with the Maison Lancôme line there. So, I mean, there's an entire city block, a floor of perfumes where you can just go crazy. Anyway, so I smelled this and I was just chatting, and she said, "Oh, it's a new rose." Da, 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 da. This is a couple of years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, if I remember rightly. And so she sprayed some on me. She sprayed some on the card, obviously, that they always do. And I said, do me a favor. I'll keep the card in my bag for when I get home, but won't you just put some on my skin? So she put some on the back of my hand here. And we went around Milan. We had lunch. We had meetings with friends. They went shopping. So I spent a good, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours around Milan. And when I got home, well, basically even before I got home, after lunch, I took a sniff of the back of my hand, and I just fell in love. Basically, it was that beautiful lingering rose, not sweet, not oody, but just pure rose. Like you could dive into the heart of a rose and you could strip down to its elements, its soul, almost like seeing the soul of a rose. Hi, whoever's joined us, leave your name down there. I just introduced us earlier. We're just a couple of minutes in. So I basically smelled the back of my hand and fell in love with this rose. I absolutely adored it. And she said to me, "Oh, we have a special, and this is in the day before I had this collection behind me. I literally had a couple of perfumes in my life, and I'd worn the same, signature perfume for years. So I had so few perfumes when this rose came into my life. So she said, would you like to buy it because it's on special? So I said, well, I tell you what, how much is it? So she said, da, 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 da. I had gone back because after lunch I couldn't get enough of the smell of the back of my hand. And she told me, and I said, okay, I'll take the smaller one because it wasn't super cheap, but it was, it was a new perfume for me. And I thought, let me experiment. Why not? Anyway, I very soon finished this little bottle. I went through it. It's a 50 ml, I think, or is it a 30 ml? I can't remember. Anyway, writing's too small. And I went through it at a rate of knots. And that's unusual for me because I'm always testing perfumes. And in those days, it was impossible to wean me away from my favorite. So anyway, there it was. I finished it. And that was in about, I think I took the last little spray out of this in about April, when we were just, April this year, when we were just coming out of the worst of the COVID pandemic and the crisis in Italy of it. And I had to order another one. So began my little adventure where you could actually order stuff online. My goodness, I used to always go to a perfume shop to buy these, but no. I thought, hey, I love this. I can't possibly be without it. So I'm going to get a bottle. So I ordered this and it came in 2 days. It was super reasonable for what it is. Such a gorgeous perfume. And there was that beautiful familiar smell. Hasn't changed at all. And I'm going to bath myself in it now so you can smell it. Can you smell that? Oh, my goodness, it's the most beautiful rose. And the love affair continues. And I've now got 3 backup bottles because I'm terrified. A lot of people misunderstand this. They want it to be oody and heavy and whatever. It's just a beautiful rose. So whatever you read into Dange rose and the play on words, it's a beautiful, pure, intense, almost spiritual rose. I absolutely adore it. Doesn't have sweet, doesn't have fruit chucked in there. It's just absolutely fabulous. Hi, Mira. Hello, darling. Absolutely beautiful. And so began my journey with this beautiful rose. Okay. Started small, grew big. So that was the first pandemic buy I made. I had finished this, which I bought from a person face to face before the pandemic. And I'd finished it and I thought, I can't possibly be without this now. I love it. So I ordered this bigger bottle from Nortina, who I normally order from in Italy. And yes, and so it grew. Let me tell you the notes on this, and then I'm going to talk about some Blumarine history. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're also going to talk about this gorgeous rose from Blumarine, also in an absolutely stunning bottle. But let's start with Blumarine. Okay, Bluefin Spa, okay, is an Italian fashion house founded, as I said, by Anna Molinari and her late husband Giampaolo Tarabini. The core brand is Blumarine, as I mentioned, the very famous fashion brand, beautiful dresses, absolutely gorgeous fashion. They started it in 1977, so it was a 70s brand. And then it was followed by Miss Blumarine, which is beautiful fashion for teenagers, preteens. Blue Girl, teenagers. And Anna Molinari, 1995, was founded, but Anna was the original founder. So it was named after her. And Anna Molinari is a luxury brand. It's a private company, Italian, founded 44 years ago. The founders, as I mentioned, were Anna Molinari and her husband Giampaolo. The headquarters are in Carpi in Italy. It has 55 luxury stores, which is quite a lot as luxury stores go. They have stores worldwide. If you've heard of Blumarine, they make women's wear and these beautiful perfumes. The revenue is about 102 million. Quite a lot. Okay, history. So Anna founded this gorgeous brand, as I mentioned, in the province of Modena. And it was based off the brand that they loved the sea, they loved blue things. And their first Blumarine boutique was opened in Via della Spiga, which is a beautiful fashion district street where all the top designers have their shops, in 1990. So they opened this store, and the company now sells at more than 1,000 retail outlets, of which 55 are own brand boutiques of Blumarine. In July 2011, the company collection was presented on the catwalk of the brand fashion show in Barcelona. The family. Anna has received many awards, which are most notable the Fashion Awards, the Le Cour Fashion Oscar in 2003. She's also been involved in lots of charities. And as mentioned above, the couple's daughter, Rosella, is the designer for the company. So there are these Italian companies who quite often have a daughter or son who continues the fashion line and becomes the designer. Gian Guido Tarabini joined the company in 1992, became director, and then died after his father. And so now the hotel touring is also part of the brand. It's all under the thing of Bluefin. So a beautiful company. If you're interested, you can go and look up Blumarine without the E, BLU Marine, and see their fashion show. Beautiful, beautiful women's wear. Absolutely stunning. But let's get back to these fragrances. So yet another Milan or Modena, not so far from Milan, but they certainly had their fame in Milan. Another fashion company that just thrived in Milan. So there we are. I'm going to have a little sip. As I mentioned, it's been an absolutely horrendous week. It's been long, it's been tedious, and I'm incredibly grateful, just as I was when the pandemic came to an end, to arrive and be talking to you beautiful people here tonight on my own channel with my own darling Miras, who's smiling at me, I can see from there, and just enjoying the pretty things in life, the lighter things like perfume. This is not serious. This is not brain surgery. We're not solving major crime here. We're not doing anything life-changing. We are simply enjoying our fascination with these beautiful perfumed waters. So let me have a sip. Tonight, Italian, of course. Antiheris, the same brand as I had last week, except that was red and this is white. They have the most beautiful names, these grapes. So this is called Code della Volpe, if you can see that, Antiheris. Absolutely horrendous light. You can't see a thing. Anyway, there we are. So Code della Volpe literally means the fox's tail, the bushy fox tail, because of the way the grapes are formed. Anyway, that's just a little aside for you, so just so you know what I'm drinking. And my goodness, do I need it? Are you sure it isn't Friday? Because it definitely feels like a Friday. So as I mentioned, when I was doing the history of Blumarine, if you've missed it, you can watch it back and see what you think. I started small, went big. So what happened when this arrived in the middle of the pandemic, when we were in lockdown, we couldn't go out of our houses. There were trucks driving around. Don't worry. It can't possibly have been worse than mine. But anyway, I drink to you. There were trucks driving around warning us to stay in our house. Mothers, children, old people, young people, don't come out. Don't come out. Stay in your house. If you need something from the pharmacy, if you need shopping, we will bring it to you. Don't leave your house. We literally had to have a piece of paper to go out of our house in an emergency, not for any old reason. You were allowed to walk your dog 20 meters, literally, and they measured. And yeah, it was really bad. And as I mentioned, the TV seemed dramatic, but it was a fraction of what was actually happening in the hospitals in Italy. There were army trucks carrying coffin after coffin after tens of 20s of coffins in the district of Bergamo in the hospitals. It was horrendous. Milan was devastated. A lot of the companies and the shops and the restaurants that I used to go to regularly with friends 2 years ago just aren't there anymore. They're closed because they couldn't stay without business for a year. Who can? Certainly not most restaurants. Anyway, it was sad. It was terrible. And this arrived as my first ever online perfume. This is the first perfume I ever bought online. This. That was bought from a person, a face-to-face. This followed. And I'm so in love with this. So I promised you I'd tell you the notes, having sprayed it on my... I'll spray some more. More of something you love is never too much. Oh my goodness, that... Oh, it's so beautiful. So the top note on this confuses people because it's basil. So it has this basilical basil herbal note on the top, and then the rose sort of creeps up. Oh, this is the best perfume ever, and it's so reasonable. And let me show you the box, Mira. Hold the thought. Hold the thought. So because I had the second bottle, the bigger bottle, I then decided that I couldn't possibly live without it, and that I needed a backup bottle. So I got a 2-for-1. This is the beginning of my online shopping. I'm not even joking. And here came the second one. It comes in this gorgeous gold. Can you see the gold? This Blumarine box is absolutely fabulous. You need to go and look at the advert for this perfume. It's stunning. Anyway, I digress. So this was really the start of me realizing that you could order perfume online. We were locked down. You couldn't go out of your house. The only thing that could happen is people could deliver stuff to your house with a big mask, gloves. Yeah. That was the beginning. Amazon was thriving. and Notina, who I ordered this from as well. So they gave me a 2-for-1. So I now have 3 bottles of this. This is finished, this little one. And I have backup bottles. And if this ever goes out of production, I'll cry because I love it. You do need it in your life. It's stunning. Anyway, let's get back to the perfume. Why don't we? Because it's hard not to notice this bottle, as I mentioned, with the dagger, with this lovely embossed gold, this heavy, it's like it was made in Venice, hand blown, and it has this beautiful hand blown glass. Anyway, so the notes. So as I mentioned, some people are confused by this. I don't know. The name seemed to suggest to some people, and you'll see this if you look at some of the reviews, that it should be heavy and sweet and oody and going shopping after this. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. It's none of those things. It's not heavy. It's not sweet. It's not oody. It's pure rose. It's getting to the absolute soul of the rose. If you could cut through all the petals and just extract its pure, beautiful, mysterious. It's mysterious. It's ethereal. It's dry down, it's beautiful, it's long lasting, but it doesn't throw out sillage. You're not going to smell it beyond an arm's length, which I quite like. You need somebody to come within an arm's length of you to smell it, and you can overspray it because it's beautiful. But on a cold, windy day, it's the most melancholic, beautiful, old rose, mysterious, layered, beautiful. But let me read the notes. That's just my opinion. As I mentioned, if you do go and read on one of the sites, as soon as you type blue, B-L-U, before you've done anything else, there'll be a million things that come up because people, for some reason, believe that this perfume should be something other than what it is. And so, yeah, they just went ballistic. And the first thing they say is, oh, I saw this gorgeous bottle. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a sexy, dark, incredible rose. I don't know why this keeps coming up in an article that I don't want to read. Thank you. I'm looking for my notes. And yeah, I don't know why they think that. I never thought that. But anyway, let me give you the notes. So the notes are rose, obviously, floral notes, fresh spicy. So it's got that fresh spicy, and that's probably the basilico and the basil. It's woody, it's aromatic, it's green, it's amber, it's musky, it's soft spicy. So you've got the fresh spicy and the soft spicy, herbal. Dange Rose by Blumarine, the lovely company that I just told you about. You can go back and watch it back. Is a floral woody musk fragrance for women. Dange Rose was launched in 2017, as I just told you. And that's when I bought that first little bottle. It had just been released, and I was one of the first to buy it at Rinascente Milan, which then led to online purchases. The nose behind the fragrance is Pierre Constantin Gouros. He's made some amazing fragrances. The top notes are basil, as I mentioned, pink pepper, and pear. The middle notes are rose, freesia, and magnolia, 3 things I love and beautifully blended. I'm going shopping after this as well. Look, I don't want anybody to be responsible for buying a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, you take the blame. I'm just here as an enabler. And my goodness, after the week I've had, I'm happy to enable anyone. I'm enabling myself, trust me. Anyway, so as I mentioned, it led to 2 backup bottles. So I can thoroughly recommend this. I'm so scared it's going to go out of production that I've got 2 backup bottles. Comes this huge thing. Look how big it is. Yeah. Reasonable, so reasonable. Pink pepper and pear. Middle notes are rose, freesia, and magnolia. Notes that I really love. Base notes are cashmere, wood, beautiful. Patchouli and white amber. What could you ask for more beautiful than that? Let me read some of the things they say about it. As I mentioned, has patch, which I love, has rose, has freesia. I love freesia, magnolia, but it's beautifully blended. It doesn't shout. It doesn't scream. It just doesn't throw out miles of silage. It just is an arm length, but people won't forget you. And on a cold, windy day, it's just like a soft cashmere coat with a lovely collar, and inside is this exquisite rose just clinging to you. What does it smell like? What is comparisons? I know you ask me for comparisons, everyone does, so I might as well give them. Even though I sometimes don't agree, but what can I say? It's like L'Artisan Parfumeur Rose Privée. So if you like Rose Privée, L'Artisan Parfumeur, and you don't have the purse, and you don't want to spend, I don't know, hundreds, it's quite similar. Lots of people rate it as similar. So this cost you a fraction of the price of La Privée. Rose Privée was made by Bertrand Duchefort, the famous, and Stephanie. So what else does it smell like? Just so I can give you an idea. Sounds like I've already got 2 takers here already. I should tell Blumarine they owe me commission. Anyway, I'm going to read you what I wrote. I don't write perfume reviews anymore on Fragrantica and other ones. I'll tell you in a later edition why. I've also stopped posting most of the photos of these perfumes that I have. Italian perfumes are mine on Fragrantica, but I don't write reviews anymore because I just felt that I had better ways to spend my time, and I'll talk about it in another edition. But anyway, this is what I wrote. One of the most underrated perfumes that I own. Its secrets get revealed only to a few. Is it my skin chemistry that makes this rose so beautiful? I don't know. I bought this perfume on a shopping trip with a friend. I sprayed some on the back of my hand, didn't really think much of it, the top note, and I went away. Then some hours later, I took a sniff of the back of my hand and I fell in love. I kept coming back to that soft veil of old rose and ever so slight spicy muskiness. This is what I wrote. I wanted to climb into it. I went back and bought it. Not expensive. Over the months, it grew on me. Soft, non-shouty patchouli and dark rose. Thing is, on the first spray, it's hard to read. A strong graphite sort of pencil shaving note, which is the basil. Leave it for an hour and come back, and on the skin it's simply enchanting and delicious. Real essence of rose. It's not like a rose water rose. It's a deep, mysterious, ethereal rose, but not sweet, not clingy, not vanilla-y, not oudy. There's lots of those. There's a million of them. You could wear this to the office and you wouldn't offend anybody, but people would remember you. But I find it quite unique as an intimate perfume on the skin. I can still smell it 8 hours later. And that first occasion when I got home, even after a shower, I could still smell this trace. I've really come to love this perfume, and I just ordered a second bottle. I wrote this review, I don't know, in May. It's now, in February I wrote this review. But yeah, so I'm many bottles in now. The bottle is beautiful, heavy black glass with a ring of roses and a dagger for a top. Love, love, love. That's what I wrote. But if you go and read reviews, I don't have time anymore to read them. You'll see people say the bottle is stunning, but why isn't this rose sweeter and more night and more sensual? I don't know what people find sensual. I have no idea. I can't spend my time worrying about people who don't love it, because I love it. I love it. And there's lots of us who love it. Let's get to the next one. So that, because I fell so in love with Dange Rose, and it was my first online purchase of perfume ever in my life. I then discovered the beautiful Rosa. Look at this bottle. You think that bottle is stunning? Sold. Well done. I'll have to tell Blumarine. When this comes, This is what I love about people who think about marketing. The bottle is stunning. It's heavy, square with this gorgeous rose and this pink juice. Soft pink, not dark pink. But what they do is they spray the perfume on this rose lid, which is like a soft rubbery material, resin, and with this lovely silver button in the middle to signify a rose. The perfume's in there. So when you open the box, the lovely thing that happens is you immediately smell the dry down because they put it on there, especially so you can get the benefit of the dry down. Isn't that clever? I think it's amazing. And so there's this beautiful Blumarine ROSA with this absolutely stunning cap. Isn't it stunning? It's fabulous. And the dry down's on there, so I can just sniff it now. So this rose, as you know, those who follow, have the bottle with the blue cap. It's Anna. It's called Anna from Anna Molinari, the Mira. It's called Anna from Anna Molinari, the founder of the company that I've been talking about. You'll have to go back and watch the history. So what is this? This is a white floral. It has vanilla. It has tuberose. It has rose. It's soft. It's feminine. It's lovely. It's a little bit powdery. It's got floral, aromatic, soft, spicy, musky. Very pretty. Blumarine ROSA by Blumarine is an amber floral fragrance for women. Blumarine ROSA was launched in 2016. So this came out before Dange Rose. Dange Rose came out in 2017. The nose behind the fragrance is Sophie Labe. Now, many of Sophie Labe's, I've just discovered by accident that I love Sophie Labe's fragrances. I've got a couple of them, and they're all stunning. So apparently, I like Sophie Labe's style. There we are. Top notes are sesame. So people say to me, what does sesame smell like? And I was quite surprised when I first smelled that because there aren't many perfumes that have sesame as a note. Those of you who love sushi will absolutely love sesame because often sushi has sesame, but I love it. It has that sesame on the beginning. Very unique. I don't know another perfume that has sesame on it. Please let me know in the comments when you watch this back if you know another that does. Somebody else has joined us. Please tell us your name down in the comments so that I can welcome you. Sesame, freesia, bergamot, that lovely hit on the top, on the front. Middle notes are tuberose, rose petals, and white lily. I adore white lily. Such a feminine fragrance. And I bought this to extend my rose collection when I first started collecting roses. Now I've got tons of roses, French roses, Italian roses, roses from everywhere, and they're all beautiful. But this was one of the founding members of my club when I started buying online. Started with Blumarine. They were the beginning. Base notes of vanilla, musk, and patchouli. A stunning, 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 stunning fragrance in a beautiful bottle, reasonable. Do you have Mida? Do you perhaps have NIMFEA? NIMFEA also has the blue cap, and there's also Anna in the same bottles. So I think NIMFEA is the lotus flower, the water lily is a NIMFEA. So I think that's possibly the one you have. So there's NIMFEA with the blue cap. There's Anna with the pink cap. And they are all beautiful, floral, soft, very feminine, quite long-lasting. I find this long-lasting and so incredibly unique with that sesame note. And then there's just, they have exquisite boxes, exquisite everything. Do you want to know what this perfume is similar to? Of course you do. You always do, don't you? You always do. And I always tell you. So those of you who can't afford Memo, which is a beautiful fragrance line out of Paris, Memo Paris Granada is just like this. So if you would love to have Memo Paris Granada and you don't have the purse to pay €220 for it. You can buy this. It has African orange flower, grenadine, but it smells like ROSA or Blumarine, which will probably cost you under 50 or maybe 50. Okay, lovely. So there we are. Blumarine. Another Blumarine that's more recent and I also like, don't have a bottle of it yet, but I have samples, is the new one, which has quite often the Blumarine features some leopard print in their fashions and some some leopardy. It's quite exotic looking. And so this perfume is called Let You Love Me by Blumarine. It's fresh, spicy, lavender, aromatic, vanilla, warm, spicy, sweet, yellow floral. Very, very pretty. And you could probably get it, as I mentioned, for about 45, 50. Oh, hi. Somebody's joined us. I can't read the writing. Sounds good. Please write your name for us, because is it Israeli that I can see? Is it Aramaic that I'm seeing written there? I can't decipher the language. I'm not very good with written languages. But I love having you join us. Welcome. So lovely to have somebody new among us. So there we are. So Let You Love Me was launched in 2020, quite recent, as I mentioned. It was made by Veronique Nyberg and Volan Colas with the noses on it. It's got lavender, black pepper, ylang-ylang, middle notes, orange blossom, mugan, again an unusual note that I didn't know about, geranium, and the base notes of vanilla, patchouli, and laurinox, another unusual note. Very popular, very loved, and comes in a white bottle with a sort of scarf on the neck. Let You Love Me. You can probably see the price there too. Okay, lovely. So we spoke about Blumarine, and if you want to know more about the fashions and you want to know more about Blumarine as a company, why don't you watch this back and then go and look at some of the fashion shows of Blumarine? Amazing. But I love their marketing. Oh, from Israel. Orit, I thought it was Israeli, because believe it or not, you're not going to believe this, but I hope you do. Hello, Randy's joined us. Hello, Randy. What would we do without you? So I think their marketing is brilliant, that they spray these caps, and then this one, it's possible, so that you actually get the beautiful dry down as you open the box, and you're not immediately sniffing, the spray, which then takes, I don't know, a couple of minutes to release its dry down. You immediately get the dry down because it comes on the cap. I think it's so clever. And I think Blumarine's marketing on their bottles, their packaging, their quality is astounding for the price you pay. And as I've mentioned, their Eco Memo and other niche top lines for a fraction of the price. And as I said, if this ever goes out of production, if this ever gets discontinued, since I found it, and it was my first ever online purchase, I can tell you right now, I have 2 backup bottles. Big bottles, look. And they were so reasonable. And they were the first things that ever came through my door after the terrible lockdown that we went through. These were the first perfumes I ever bought online, and look what's happened behind me. First ever. Started with this little one, went bigger and bigger. Lovely. Okay. So if you've missed out on Blumarine, Randy, and all the others, go back and watch it. Go back and watch the history of Blumarine, another amazing Italian fashion company. If you missed the Gulan edition last week, I'll hook it up there. But go back and watch. I've done Versace, the history of Versace and the family and their fragrances and their fashion. I've done Armani. I've done Etro. All of these amazing Italian fashion companies that are huge in the world that started in Italy, and Blumarine is one of them, and still going strong and making beautiful fashions. And I'm wearing blue tonight just for them, and the delphinium blue little flowers as earrings. So what are we going to talk to you about now? So I guess you're dying to know what my announcement is. Write in the comments if you want to know what my announcement is. I'm not telling you unless I get some kind of applause here, please. I'm so thrilled to have Orit from Israel. And, you know, the strange thing, that's what I wanted to tell you. This, those of you who weren't here earlier, Corda di Volpe means foxtail. It's a very pretty white. Helps if you take the cap off. It's a very pretty white that I've been drinking over the last 4 days. Finally finished the bottle. So I'm just cheering because it feels like a Friday, and it should be a Friday after the week I've had. Can I find it on eBay? You can. But even better, you can get it from Notino. I'll hook down below where I buy it from, and I'm sure Notino, you can definitely find it on eBay. And if you send me a private Instagram message, I can help you find it in Israel, no problem. And it's so getting back to the story. So, all right. Oh, it's a pleasure, darling. I'm so thrilled to have you here. I studied. After university, I went back and studied ancient languages. You won't believe this. And Orit, do you know what I studied? I studied Aramaic. That's why I took a guess that maybe what you were writing in Israeli might have been connected to Aramaic, which was the ancient language before today Israeli. And I also studied ancient Greek. That's a fact you didn't even know about me, so you don't even need to ask Amanda. I'm giving you this amazing fact without even ask Amanda. I studied ancient languages. Hi, NW's joined us. Can you believe that, Orit, that I actually studied Aramaic, and that's the only reason I could recognize your writing, because I thought, what is that writing? I'm sure it must be Aramaic. It's not Aramaic, it's Israeli, but you know, the base is the ancient language Aramaic, yes or no? Yes. I'm so thrilled to have Orit with us. Isn't it lovely when we have a whole new language that we can learn? Hello, NW. Hello. Okay, so it's called the Fox's Tail, this Italian white. Very pretty. The grape is actually called Fox's Tail because it's bushy like a fox's tail, because the grape formation looks like a fox's tail. Absolutely delicious. Dry and fruity and lovely. Okay. So I promised you a little chat. We come here to talk about perfume. There's my whole Trussardi line. If you love Trussardi, then you should go and watch my Trussardi edition. I also did a whole history of that. If you're interested, go back, look through all my designer editions I've done. Mira's been with us from the beginning, and Randy and all of them. There's lots of Italian designer editions to go and watch. But that's my little Trussardi corner, another amazing Italian house. That's a lovely winter one. The black rose, this gorgeous, delicate rose, another amazing Italian fragrance. Yeah, and my name, my scent, which is also, so there seems to be this marketing in Italy to scent the perfume caps, and it's so lovely because you get the dry down. So this, my scent from Trussardi, how stunning is this bottle, has this beautiful lilac. If you've ever, when you, in spring, when all the lilacs are blooming, that's the smell you get off the cap. It's so stunning. Anyway, I digress. Let's come back to what I was talking about. So I mentioned that we went through this horrendous 3 months where we were literally locked in our houses and need permission to even go to the pharmacy or the supermarket or do anything. It was horrendous. People were dying all around us. And we were locked down for about 4 months, and then the second wave came, and so it went on. And it's only been in maybe the last 2 months that the design week went ahead in Milan, and I was so thrilled to do that. And I went to Rinascenti, tested all the perfumes, and saw life in Milan again. Some of the restaurants obviously are gone. They're closed forever, the ones that I used to go to. But why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I have had the most horrendous week. I really have. I come twice a week here to join you guys. I always have a great time. I always, even after a long day of work, I'm always so pleased to get together to share our passion for perfume, just talk about life. Just, there are lots of perfume reviews. You're just going to give you boom, bang, bang. These are the 10 great vanillas or whatever. That's not me. I'm here to have a conversation with my live audience about perfume and other things. So, anyway, let me tell you what happened. This is how it started. So, my darling daughter, my one and only daughter, moved to Vancouver from Paris with her fashion designer husband a year ago. Maybe, a year ago. In July, it was a year, so more than a year. Anyway, and because of COVID, we haven't seen each other since then. It's been impossible for me to travel, impossible for her to travel, impossible for anybody to travel. You know this. All of you know this. This is a reality we now live in. And I was desperate to see her. And what happened was, when she left Paris to go and move with her husband, who was offered a new job in Canada, she was pregnant with her first child and absolutely excited. And to cut a long story short, for those of you who've never joined me before, my grandson was born in January. So the cherry and the joy of the beginning of the year came with the birth of this little boy, and it brightened up terrible COVID and brightened up the lockdown quite a lot. It was a lovely start to the year. Needless to say, my daughter, her husband, and the baby all got COVID and went to hospital in Canada. He was a newborn. So it was pretty bad year, and it's been pretty challenging since. I've lost friends in Milan. I've had ups and downs and roundabouts, but whatever. So the other day I went with a friend to have lunch, and the law says in Italy that most of us have double vaccinated now. Certainly anyone of my age should be double vaccinated with AstraZeneca. And if you go to sit down in a restaurant, you can stay outside and that's fine. But if you go to sit down in a restaurant in which you're going to remove your mask to eat, it's quite difficult to drink wine with a mask. Have you ever tried it? No. You need to remove your mask, and you're sitting down and you're with a whole bunch of other people who've removed their masks. So basically, they made the law that you have to be scanned with a phone. It's a very simple app, and they scan your green pass to see if it's okay, and it gives a green tick on the app, and then you can sit down and eat inside and do what you like and drink your wine. I think I thought I might make a mask that has a straw in which you can drink. You can drink wine with a mask, even when you weren't able. But I think COVID's had its butt kicked now, and hopefully it's kicked to the curb. But anyway, I went into this place, and because they never checked me, and they checked me in every other place. I went in Design Week in Milan. You had to be checked, even if you just went into the store. They didn't check me, and I went to them and I said, "Hey, every place I go, I get checked. They check my green pass. It's called a European green pass." And she got all grumpy with me, and she said, anyway, she's sort of just, whatever. So I thought, well, that's weird. And at that point, the instinct in my brain said to me, I should just actually walk out. If she's going to be this rude, I should just actually walk out. That's what I should do. But you know how it is. You think, I don't want to make scenes. So I sat down with my friend. We started, the meal was awful. The attitude of the waiters was shocking. And she kept making big eyes at me and sort of being quite she was obviously extremely annoyed that I'd asked why she hadn't checked. So anyway, because she never came back to me and her behavior didn't improve, she didn't get any more charming. She got less charming by the minute. When time came to pay at the cashier, I said to her, because she was standing there glaring at me, I said to her, are you sure you don't have any way to check a green pass? Because it is law, and every other place I go to has it on their phone and they just check it. And she started screaming and shouting. She came round from the counter and she said to me, "We know where you live." Well, I live in a village. I mean, I've been going to this place for 8 years. Everyone knows where I live. And she said, it was a threat. And she said, "We know where you live. And if you've taken a photo of me, you better show me now on your phone because I will report you." I said, "I haven't taken any photos on my phone. I'm happy to show you my phone." And I showed her my phone. The last photo happened to be of a, I don't know, probably my green pass. It's hilarious. So out I walked with her screaming and shouting, having insulted me, and I went home. When I got home, we spoke about it, and I thought, this is completely ridiculous. Not only did she threaten me, be rude and whatever, but I think I'm going to write a TripAdvisor review because I've been writing TripAdvisor reviews in all my travels. I don't know, 8 years. I think I was one of the first on TripAdvisor. And I've written lovely reviews of all the places I've stayed in the world, and it's been great for them. And it's nice to get some appreciation when you run a lovely bed and breakfast or a lovely restaurant. So I do write reviews. Anyway, I wrote on there they didn't check my green pass. They were quite rude. They were nasty. Anyway, I got on with my week. Life went on. I got busy. And it was the evening of 3 days ago, I think, I heard this pounding on my door downstairs of my office. And I thought, that's weird. It's not time for the courier to come. It's not time for the postman. What could possibly be happening? And this pounding continued on the door. So I opened up the window up in my office and I looked downstairs. There was a man standing at my door, a young man of about, I don't know, 30, 35. And he said to me, "Come down here," in Italian. And I said, "No, I can't come down there. I'm busy working. What do you want? And I don't know who you are." And he said, "I'm from the restaurant, da da da. And I think you should come down here and tell me what your problem is." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Why have you come to my house?" I said, "I'm pretty sure that you're contravening a privacy law by tracking me down at my house." I said, "I'm busy. I'm on the phone and I can't possibly come downstairs." And he said, "Oh, but why did you?" Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Oh my God. I said, "Why did you follow him? Why did you come to my home? And why did you?" He said, "Why did you write that stuff on TripAdvisor?" He was talking Italian. I'm not telling you in Italian because you won't understand. I'm talking in English. Anyway, he said, "Why did you write that stuff on TripAdvisor?" I said, "Because it's true." And I was quite shocked. Not only that you didn't check me, but that you were so rude and horrible to me and my friend, having been there for 8 years supporting your whole family. So he said, "If you don't take," he said, "I'm giving you 1 hour to take it down." 1 hour. I said, "Oh, and what are you going to do then?" I said, "Because I'm going to call the police and tell them you're threatening me." And yeah, exactly, Randy, it is crazy. I said, "I'm going to call the police and tell them that you're threatening me." And I said, "I'm quite sure TripAdvisor doesn't advise people to go and track people down and threaten them. I'm pretty sure it contravenes TripAdvisor's rules too." Anyway, he marched off. I carried on because I had to work. And I thought about it and my heart was pounding. And I thought, that is so wrong. I feel so violated. This is a man pounding on my door, threatening me. Yeah, and for all I know, they know more about me than I think they know about me. They probably know my comings and going. They know where I live. And how dare they do this? Anyway, I got myself into quite a state. And I spoke to a friend of mine who lives in another part of Italy. And he said to me, "That's absolutely unacceptable. You have to call the police immediately and don't take the review down." And then I talked to a couple of other of my friends who've lived here for a long time and know Italy better than me. And they said, "Look, if you don't take that down, you don't know what he's going to do. You can't watch yourself 24/7. It's wrong. The police should do something about it, but they probably can't do anything about it because he hasn't physically actually hit you yet." And so the shortest cut is to take the review down. So I'm asking you guys what you think. This is instead of ask Amanda, where you asked me a question, I'm putting it to you. So that was the first thing that happened in the week, and that was shocking enough. Out of that, I met a delightful person who grew up in my grandmother's village and also lives in Italy. He's a professor at a university. And through this whole scenario and the opinions, I met him. So that was the good that came out of it. And we've become dear friends. And he grew up in the village in which I grew up in England, and my grandmother grew up in. Anyway, fast forward. I then had been planning, as I mentioned, to go and travel for the first time in 1 year in COVID, and to see my grandchild and my daughter in Canada. And so I'd been looking online for flights. Anyway, I started to book these flights, and it just became a nightmare. I can't even tell you. The flights kept being changed and cancelled. I was online on Air Canada, then I went to Lufthansa, then I went there and there, and there was just no sense. I mean, I literally spent 3 entire days trying to find a ticket. It was incredible. Then came the payment story. Whilst I knew my credit card was 100% working because I had purposely kept it completely fluid so that I could get this ticket, it kept refusing it. The system kept saying it's not working, it's not there, and it would kick you out. You'd put in your whole details, which took an hour, writing your seat selection, the whole story. Because there's 3 connections. From Italy, there's no direct flight to Canada. So I had to connect to Frankfurt in Germany and then on to Canada. Anyway, whatever. So I put all the stuff in 29 times, and every time the site would kick you out and the ticket wouldn't be issued. And I was beside myself. In the meantime, all the airlines were announcing that travel was opening to America and to Canada, wherever, North America. And so everyone was rushing to buy a ticket before the tickets went up. So creepy that he came there, exactly. But don't worry. You're going to let me know what you think. But you need to write in the comments, not here, because I can't refer back to it. Watch it back and write what you think should happen. Anyway, I want your opinion. So anyway, I kept on because I needed this ticket, and the prices were literally going up as we speak. So I was putting stuff in, and then the site kicked me out because it crashed. I don't know. And the prices were changing by the minute because suddenly people realized, oh, travel. So I used to travel a lot. I haven't traveled at all. But this was desperate. I needed this ticket. And what's more, you now need like an e-pass kind of visa that you do at the airport in anticipation, but you can only do it 72 hours before you go into Canada. So you can't do it in advance. You have to wait till the last minute, upload all the stuff, your ticket, your vaccination, your green pass, and you have to have a special molecular test for COVID. It can't be a rapid test that you can have in a pharmacy. So I had to book the test. It's been a week from hell. And that's why I'm so thrilled to be with you guys and just enjoy the evening. And we're getting to the top of the hour. But hey, this is Little Friday for me. It's Wednesday, but it's Little Friday. And I cannot tell you how relieved I am that I finally have a ticket in my hand. The COVID test is coming in 2 days' time, and then I'll do the whole ETA or whatever they call it, electronic something or other, to get into Canada, because you cannot go in just for a holiday. You have to have family reasons or some other reasons. And my reason is that I'm and you have to be fully vaccinated, 2 vaccinations, not any old vaccination, but the particular ones that Canada have chosen. And so there we are. So the good news is, and this is right at the end, the big announcement is I'm probably going to do an edition from Vancouver. So you're going to be talking to me from Vancouver soon. How amazing is that? And look at us. I think we've got a whole bunch of people I adore Look how lovely this is. Ah, what do you think about that? I'm soon going to be doing an edition from Vancouver. Maybe Friday is the next edition. That'll be my last Italian edition before the trip. Well, not my last, but the one before the trip. And then probably on the Friday following, I will do an edition from Vancouver, and we can have a look at that. What do you think about that? Let me know. I'm waiting. I want to hear. I'm going to have a sip of my wine while you tell me what you think about my huge announcement that I'm going to be doing an edition from Vancouver. Say hi from Vancouver. I know one person that I follow, Richard Kikart, who's from Canada, right? So, Richard, as a shout out to you. I'm coming to Canada. I know you're in Toronto. I'll probably visit Toronto on the way out. But anyway, to all the Canadians in the room or in the house who are going to be when you watch this back, coming your way. Oh, that's so happy for you. Finally, good news. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long year, and I'm delighted that I'm finally going to see my dear family. And my goodness, let this week just be forgotten. I'm exhausted. Anyway, Ask Amanda tonight has already happened because I'm asking you guys, I'm turning the table on you guys. I'm asking you, what do you think I should do about this idiot who came and pounded on my door because I left him a TripAdvisor saying he didn't actually check our green passes, which, by the way, is law. So what do you think? Let me know. I want to know. You can send me a comment after. Watch this back because you need to go and watch the beautiful Blumarine history and these absolutely fabulous perfumes that I have reviewed that I absolutely adore. The rose that I adore. And Mira said she's going to buy it. Various people have said, honestly, it's so affordable and you won't get a more beautiful rose. It equals some of, it's like Artisan Parfum. More beautiful than that. Yeah. And without the huge price tag. Anyway, guys, I guess I need to wrap this up. It's been so lovely having you as usual. I love doing these editions for you. Let me know in the comments when you watch this back if you enjoy all the fashion editions, and go watch the ones you missed. I'll hook them up upstairs up there. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're new, please subscribe. Please like the video. Go like the video now. There's 7 of you watching and I see only 5 likes. And can I just say that my night was made by the beautiful, beautiful watching this gorgeous Orit write Aramaic, which brought that feeling back to me when I studied ancient languages. Thank you, Orit, for joining us all the way from Israel. Bye, guys. Love you. Bye from Italy. See you Friday. Join us on Friday. It's going to be a secret edition. I bet you can't guess what it is. And let me know in the comments later what you thought of the perfumes, what you think. Ask me any question for next week. Chin chin from Italy. Bye. Bye. Bye, you guys. Bye.